Hi, I'm Denise Cameron, Team Latitude and Team Hand-Eye Supply, and I'm here to give you a couple tips on things to do to make sure your eating and nutrition is good leading up to and during a tournament. So I am absolutely no expert on this subject at all, but I've been making a lot of effort to get better, so I want to share some of the tips and some of the information that works for me and see if you can utilize any of it. So leading up to a tournament, you just kind of want to eat clean, eat healthy, try not to have a big junk food dinner the night before you go to bed and have to wake up early and go play. So that's just a matter of just trying to be smart leading up to it. You should always try to eat decent, eat healthy, eat clean, but especially leading up to an event. But once you're actually there, try to do a good breakfast. I know sometimes it's hard, you're traveling, you have to get up early. Maybe take some of the stuff that I'm going to show you that I like to snack on and have that stuff available for breakfast too. So anyway, starting out with some of the stuff I like to have on the course with me. One thing that everybody usually has is some kind of granola bars or snack bars. I really like these two, especially the Kind bars and then Clif bars. These pack a little more punch protein-wise, so I usually only eat like half of this. But these are actually really delicious too, and they're made out of good ingredients, so you're not just getting all sugar and no power behind the food. Another thing is beef jerky. Now, this isn't the most healthy thing in the world. It's got a lot of salt and a lot of preservatives in it, but in small doses, it's good protein, good thing to snack on to keep you going so you don't get too hungry in the middle of your round. And then last, but probably my favorite, is just throw a banana in the bag. I recommend eating this early because if it bounces around your bag for too long, it may not be in the best shape. But this is always a great thing to have on the course with you, just to make sure you don't get too hungry playing, because that can affect your focus and you don't want to throw bad shots just because you're craving something to eat. So moving on from that, on to things that you should have with you at lunchtime. So I've always been a person that usually would go run to the closest place I could find food, whether it be, sub at a gas station or fast food or whatever. And I'm trying to get away from that. For one thing, it's nice to be able to relax on your break if you're playing a 2-round event, especially if you aren't actually leaving the course, if your second round is there. I recommend getting something like a little cooler, so that way you can pack your lunch, bring it with you, and have everything you need right there. So when you finish your round, you have a cold drink and a good meal, and then you can just relax or practice whatever you need to do before the second round. So first off, for beverages, if you're like me, you have a little bit of a sweet tooth. I do like soda, try not to drink it as much, and maybe at lunch you like to have something other than water. Obviously you want to drink lots of water, stay hydrated, but something like this is nice to have at lunch. So coconut water is a big one. It's really good for you, really refreshing. It will really hydrate you, so it's a good thing to have. I especially like this green tea. It's not great, it's got a lot of sugar in it, but at least it comes from a good base, which is tea, and it's another thing that gives you a little bit of a sweet tooth, a little bit of a taste other than water, and you're not chugging a Coke, so that's always good. And then on to some easy food items. One thing that I discovered this season and I love is actually peanut butter and honey sandwiches. And really you can do any kind of sandwich, but what I love about the peanut butter and honey is you can get a loaf of bread, a jar of peanut butter, and a little thing of honey, and keep that in your car. Never need to refrigerate it, don't need to worry about it going bad. So it's just a great thing to have on hand to make sure you're eating something decent and not grabbing that burger last minute because you don't have anything on hand. Another thing I really like is hummus. Just bring a little jar of it, and then that's a great thing to supplement something like this. Little wheat thin chips. Still, they're chips. I mean, it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's a better alternative than your basic potato chip. These things I love. They're like little pea pod sugar snap pea things. They're crunchy. They're great to dip in stuff. And they're actually healthy and they will fill you up. So it's another good alternative to a fast food or quick food option that you might try to utilize. I really like cheese, so I'll usually keep some kind of string cheese or something like that on me. This is another thing. A lot of these items, I mean, if you're having a long round, you didn't eat it all at lunch, I mean, you can throw it in your bag, take it with you, and then you have something to snack on during the round. So my last thing I have in here is just a piece of fruit. Another easy thing. So you see I have a pretty balanced meal of stuff to eat for lunch. If I have this with me, I don't have to go anywhere. And takes one more thing out of the equation that you need to worry about when you're playing a tournament. And everybody can save a couple bucks. And just these are some of the methods that I'm trying to utilize to get better about what I do when I'm off playing an event. And hopefully you can use some of the tips too. Thanks.